What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video, another day, another version of the Toronto Maple Leafs. This team is going to be insane, and this video is probably going to be titled something around the lines of why the Toronto Maple Leafs aren't done trading, why this roster isn't done being changed. There's a lot of things going on, and I'm just trying to grasp it at this point. So if you guys are new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Thank you for all the new subscribers that have joined the channel lately. I greatly appreciate it. I make videos about the Leafs pretty consistently now, and a lot of it's based around news and trade rumors and live streams and stuff like that. So make sure, if you are new here, like and subscribe. I know a ton of you guys are watching right now that aren't subscribed, but I want to talk to you guys, and before we get any further, we need to look at the roster. We need to be looking at what's going on with this team, what the numbers are like, what picks they have, how much cap space they have. Now, this is where some people are getting confused, because I'm still getting people telling me, oh, well, the Leafs still have like $5 million in cap space. No, they actually have less than $1 million with Matt Murray activated now. Well, he will be activated from long-term injured reserve, and that's why some of these trades have been so important. The Leafs trading guys like Sandin and Engvall and getting, cheaper replacements is the reason why, Dubas did this. Dubas wanted to make sure that when Murray is going to be activated, he would fit under the cap, and the LTIR space would not be used anymore. So technically, the Leafs have about $1 million in cap space, and I think that this number could definitely change because of the influx of defensemen that the Leafs have. Now, there's two ways of looking at this. There's the really fun way and thinking, and we briefly touched on this last video. The fun way of looking at this is oh, well, they could just move somebody from here and save some money, and we'll get to that in a second, and not have to sit out two NHL quality defensemen every night and, use the first round pick, whatever, and make a move. The other side of it is the playoffs are very long, and having extra defensemen that you can basically plug and play in different spots in the lineup is probably what most deep teams do. But what people are forgetting here is that, first of all, the Leafs don't have an extra forward. They have two extra defensemen, pretty much three at this point. It doesn't make a lot of sense for the Leafs to do that, right? It makes no sense. They actually do have three. I kept saying two. They actually have three. So they have three extra defensemen that they are going to be having rotating in and out of the lineup. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. That doesn't give them the opportunity to have an extra forward that they can put in there in case of an injury. Now, the only extra forward that would take up pretty much all of that cap space could potentially be Matthew Knies. Now, if Matthew Knies signs out of college after his season is done and his playoffs are done and he joins the team, then that's where the extra forward is and the money is gone and the Leafs don't have the cap space. Or they can do something crazy, which is what I'm kind of hoping happens. Now, maybe they don't get too crazy, but this would be probably everybody's dream scenario, right? This first round pick this year is Boston's pick, obviously, and now we acquired it in the Washington Capitals trade with Rasmus Sandin, and this is going to be have some decent value. I mean, Rasmus Sandin was a tough pill to swallow to get rid of, but it's still a first-round pick nonetheless, and I think that this pick is probably in play. I don't know why Dubas would hold on to this if there's a chance to improve this team, so this pick is probably going to be gone. The next player that I think could potentially be gone is Alex Kerfoot. The reason why I say that, and I'm using LTIR because it removes the money from the cap space. The reason why I'm saying this could be the move is because $3.5 million on top of potential salary retention in a trade and that first round pick and then potentially a prospect could get you a pretty decent player. The prices seem to have gone down. There are some players that were, going for very expensive prices and going for a big deal. But it looks as though that, sorry, my phone's going off. I was just making sure it wasn't another Leaf trade. But it's basically again, I lost my train of thought. But basically, what I'm trying to get at here is that the Toronto Maple Leafs can use that space, prospects, picks, whatever, to acquire a better player rather than having, a guy like Kerfoot on the third line that maybe you can get an upgrade on if you package him in the right deal. Now, the next thing you could do on top of that is insert Luke Schenn into where Justin Hall is playing, and basically trade Justin Hall as well. That would give the Leafs $6.4 million in cap space and still have two NHL quality defensemen as their backups for scratches, and you would also have the money to go out there, excuse me, that was my chair, to go out there and get a really high quality player that's making a lot of money, that could be an expiring deal, whatever. So you'd have that pick, you'd have this cap space, and you'd have that spot open. You would be able to sign Matthew Knies. He could still be signed and still have about $5 million to play with. So the Leafs have options is what I'm pretty much getting at here. And they have options that could look very good for them if they use the money correctly. Now, the other thing here is I'm not too sure that Justin Hall is the guy that the Leafs want to trade. And by the Leafs, I mean Sheldon Keefe. Sheldon Keefe loves Justin Hall because he kills penalties. He can play up and down the lineup. And I mean, look he's on the first pairing. So like he's going to be playing with Morgan Riley. Whether or not you think that that's a good idea, that's what it's going to be at. And if we're listening to what he briefly said about, Schenn and Gustafsson have had experience before being in and out of the lineup, that tells me that Luke Schenn and Eric Gustafsson are not going to be everyday players on the blue line for the Maple Leafs. And we've seen time and time again that Sheldon Keefe doesn't like having Timmins in the lineup for an extended period of time. So if Gustafsson, Timmins, and Schenn are all going to be guys being mixed in, I don't know if the Leafs are even going to be getting rid of a defenseman. They might hold on to all of these guys, but if you're trying to save some money here and you feel like maybe you can acquire a player with salary retained plus a first round pick plus one of the good prospects, maybe you upgrade on Kerfoot. So there's a bunch of different options here. I'm trying to run it through my head, and then the other option here is that the Leafs are just done. They don't make trades anymore. They've already done a bunch. They've already made this team look really good. It's just if you're truly all in and you didn't value having a first round pick in the first place, then why just hold on to it? At this point, just trade it, get an upgrade. If you want to put Ryan O'Reilly on that third line, get another top six style of winger with the extra money plus the prospects that you still have and the pick. A first round pick will be a good conversation starter. And then the Leafs do have a handful of really good prospects that people seem to just ignore. Just because Matthew Knies is their best prospect doesn't mean he has to be involved in every single trade. And if he is involved, it better be a damn good player coming back the other way. So, and I don't think they do that for a rental. I don't think Kyle Dubas has any intention of trading Matthew Knies. So we'll have to see what happens. But I want you guys to respond down below. Tell me what you guys think. If you're new here, like and subscribe. Join the squad. The Leafs aren't done, in my opinion, and I want your opinion down below. Let me know. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Go Leafs go. Big game against the Oilers tonight. Peace.